Hi, my name is Caden Philby, and this is my final video project for the Global Challenge class of Fall 2025. Here we go. The first pillar of global citizenship is opening your eyes. Take a walk with me. It's not only important to open your eyes to the world directly around you and the obstacles that there might be. It's also important so you can see the different cultures and different people that are scattered across the globe. The city of Troy, the state of Alabama, the country of the United States. These are all parts of a huge globe. So much is going on beyond our borders, and it is our duty to know about it. Opening our eyes allows us to see the world around us, the different cultures, people, ideas, and beliefs. It is easy to focus only on what is going on in your daily life and the things that matter to you. But then you would miss out on the vast beauty that surrounds you not only locally, but globally. It is not all sunshine and rainbows, though. The world is a dark place. There is war, famine, disease, abuse, and so many other tragedies that happen every single day. Opening your eyes allows you to see these things and be aware of them and persuade you to act. Opening our eyes, being the first pillar of global citizenship, is pretty self-explanatory. You can't be aware of the state of the world around you if your eyes are closed. To become a global citizen and to begin to act on the other pillars, you have to take your field of vision that might be narrow, focus only on what goes on in your life, and broaden it to see the world in all of its unique aspects. Once you are able to fully open your eyes, you can then move on to opening your mind. The second pillar of global citizenship is opening your mind. It's important to open your mind because if I have the bias that this horse is a dog and I throw this ball for her, she's not going to chase it. And that's going to leave me disappointed because I want my dog to chase the ball. It's also important to open your mind because there are many different cultures and people scattered throughout the world. And it's important to be able to understand them. And if we have biases, we're not going to be able to understand them well. Not only the world, but also the communities we live in are full of people who have different beliefs and or ideas than we do. Being in the South and at a mid-sized university, it can be easy to allow ourselves to become an echo chamber of ideas and beliefs, just absorbing what we see, hear, or are told by people in the world around us. While none of these things are inherently bad, it can become detrimental if we allow an echo chamber to form biases in our minds that hinder us from being able to accept and listen to the people who have different beliefs than us and understand cultures that function differently than ours. These biases and mindsets can become very difficult to break once we become set in them because they become our routine idea of thinking. Paul Sloan has a TED Talk in which he discusses how we can open our minds, giving 3 ways to do it. The first method is to take a different view. Deliberately seek out new experiences or viewpoints that challenge your mindset. Look for people in your community that have different ideas than yours, or travel to a place that has a different culture. Physical experiences like these force you to interact with and consider beliefs and cultures that are different from your own. The second method is to deliberately introduce the random. Find ways in your daily life to introduce random inputs, such as words, objects, or people, to spark new associations and ideas. An example might be to play Wordle every day, to be introduced to a new word, to encourage your brain to think in new ways that it might not always think in, and that can go against your current mindset or bias. The third method is to welcome the unexpected things that happen in your life. Take unexpected events as opportunities to expand your viewpoints and expose yourself to new mindsets. The world is full of too many unique people, cultures, beliefs, and ideas for you to refuse to open your mind. You will miss so many opportunities to see beautiful things and meet wonderful people. To truly be a global citizen, you have to be able to accept and understand all the different people, cultures, beliefs, and ideas that you encounter across the globe. Once you fully open your eyes and mind, you will be able to open your heart. The third pillar of global citizenship is opening our heart. It's important to open our heart because you never know in your daily life when you might see someone that needs help.
Help! Help!
I'm good.
What the heck, man?
It's also important to open your heart because there's going to be many instances where people around the globe and even the world itself is going to need your help. The world is a cruel place. Every day, people wake up and go to sleep hungry. Wars rage on with seemingly no end in sight. Natural disasters tear apart cities and villages. People's bodies are ravaged by epidemics. The list of atrocities could go on and on. In the United States, we have it pretty good. We have access to plenty of food. There are no wars being fought in our streets. We have modern medicine that can fight most diseases. While having all these things is not bad, it can make us selfish. As we live comfortably, it can be easy to want to turn a blind eye to the problems and suffering in the world around us because it doesn't affect us directly. Well, the world doesn't need any more people to hurt it. It needs people who are able to heal it and who care. The way that we begin healing the world is by opening our hearts. Begin to put yourself in the shoes of the less fortunate people in the world. Imagine waking up to the sound of bombs and gunfire, or watching your house get washed away by a flood, and how devastating that is. Remember the song we sang in class? We are all brothers. We are all sisters. We are all brothers and sisters all the world around. Well, last time I checked, brothers and sisters care about each other and want the best for each other. So we need to open our hearts and go out into the world and look after our brothers and sisters. Once we have opened our eyes and our mind and our heart, it is time to act and open our hands.
The fourth and final pillar of developing global citizenship is opening your hands. It's important to open your hands so you can catch anything people might throw at you. Opening your hands is also important so you can better serve the world and the people of the world with their daily needs and whatever else they could possibly want.
We have access to pretty much anything we could want in today's world. If I want something to drink, I can go to my refrigerator and get an ice cold cup of water or a nice glass of orange juice. If I want ice cream, I can drive myself down the road at Brody's Cream and Bee and get myself a cup of whatever ice cream I want. I go to sleep in a comfortable bed every night in a room that's air conditioning. I have everything I need to live a good life. However, that isn't the case for billions of people. People wake up hungry, walk miles for water, and go to sleep on the ground. When we have so much, why should we keep it from those that have so little? Our mission should be to go out into the world and serve its citizens, helping them however we are able. Philippians 2:3 says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in all humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." We are commanded to go out and serve, and not only that, but to serve others more significantly than we serve ourselves. Opening your hands can take many different forms. Look for local ways to serve. I know here in Troy, there are churches and food banks who are always looking for the help of volunteers or who are looking for people to donate items. On a global scale, you could go on a mission trip and serve the people of another country, whether that's helping them build a church, helping them recover from a natural disaster, or just helping in the community with various odds and ends. You can donate items to organizations that will take them to the places where they are needed most. This list is endless of ways that you can go out and help. Now, you've opened your eyes, your mind, your heart, and your hands. Every pillar of global citizenship has been laid out for you, and it is time for you to go and act like one. Cheers. Now that we have laid the 4 pillars of a global citizenship, it's time for us to look at global mindset. There are 3 capitals that we have to look at when talking about global mindset: intellectual capital, psychological capital, and social capital. Let's talk about intellectual capital first. There are 3 components that make up intellectual capital: global business savviness, cosmopolitan outlook, and cognitive complexity. Let's talk about global business savviness first. Being global business savvy will provide you with the resources to build a company that spans across continents. Global markets are always shifting and functioning in different ways, which means that understanding the global market is key to ensuring that the company you are running has large success on a global scale. The second component is having a cosmopolitan outlook. This simply means you have a vast knowledge about many aspects of the world around you. The need for having this type of outlook is pretty self-explanatory. How can you expect to have a global mindset if you know nothing about the world? We must seek out knowledge of the ever-changing world we live in so we can continue to grow and mold our global mindset. The third and final component of intellectual capital is cognitive complexity. The world we live in is always changing. Markets shift, new politicians or rulers come into power, any number of things are liable to change on any given day. Having cognitive complexity is important so that you are able to understand all the moving parts of the world, adapt to the changes, and be able to attack any problems that might arise in your life as a result of these changes. Now time to talk about psychological capital. The three components of psychological capital are passion for diversity, quest for adventure, and self-assurance. Let's talk about passion for diversity. Our world is so incredibly diverse. There are so many different people, places, plants, animals, literally everything. It would be an absolute travesty if all this diversity was overlooked. A passion for diversity is important because I think it fosters a deep admiration for the uniqueness of the world. The second component is quest for adventure. The world is vast. Endless landscapes full of savannas, coral reefs, mountains, valleys, beaches, and so on and so on. It is important to take advantage of every opportunity you get to go out and adventure and take risks and test your limits while you discover the beauty that the globe has to offer. The third and final component of psychological capital is self-assurance. The world can be an unforgiving place. It can chew you up and spit you out. Self-assurance is important because you must be able to rely on yourself to fight back and get up when the world tries to knock you down. Now for the third and final capital, social capital. The three components of social capital are intercultural empathy, interpersonal impact, and diplomacy. Let's talk about intercultural empathy. There are 8.2 billion people on this planet scattered across over 5,000 cultures. It is impossible to avoid contact with different cultures when you are traveling the world. Intercultural empathy is important because when you interact with new cultures, you need to show respect to their traditions and show them that you care to learn about how their culture functions. The second component is interpersonal impact. Everyone likes to be remembered by the people they meet when they meet them again. The bigger personal impact you leave on the person, the higher possibility you have of them remembering you. The personal impact you leave on a person is important because it is going to influence how that person thinks about you in the long run. The third and final component of social capital is diplomacy. In today's world, one of the most important things you can do to ensure your professional success is to build a network. Networking is king in today's society, as my dad has told me many times. Diplomacy is important because it is the foundation of building a network. Ease of talking to strangers, willingness to collaborate, and listening to what others have to say are all key parts in developing your network. In this video, we've talked about the 4 pillars of global citizenship and the 3 capitals of developing a global mindset. Now it's time to talk about the personal impact this class has had on me this semester. I will forever remember the Fall 2025 Global Challenge class is a period of great growth in my life. I live in Silver Hill, Alabama, a literal one red light town. The same guy has been the mayor the entire time I've lived there. I went to a small Christian classical private school from the time I was in 5th grade until I graduated high school. And by small, I mean I graduated with 39 people type of small. I was around these same people all day, every weekday, for 8 years. Now don't hear me wrong. I couldn't be happier with those things. However, I got put in an echo chamber. Living in a small southern town and going to a small school with the same people for almost a decade meant that I never experienced a culture different from the one that I lived in. When talking about the types of citizens in Chapter 1, I was Citizen 2.0. The views I had about the world around me were based on the group I was a part of. When I went off to college, all my groups changed. I was the only guy from my school that came to Troy. This meant I had to find completely new groups of friends. One of the new group of friends that I met were the people I met in the Global Challenge class. This was a class full of people from different walks of life and from across the world. And it was the first time I truly got to meet people from different countries than me. Regrettably, at the beginning of the semester, I didn't prioritize talking to them because I was very busy with athletics, academics, and fraternity life. Well, as the semester went on, I had a lot more free time. And I'll never forget the first real conversation I had with Julian, Leah, and Noah at Saga one afternoon. The 4 of us and some other people from the class had all gone to get lunch after class, and we were sitting there talking when the topic of driver's licenses and personal ID came up. And they told me that their driver's license and their personal ID were 2 separate things in Europe. With public transportation, especially trains, being very common and easily accessible in Europe, a lot of people decided to opt out of having a driver's license. I couldn't believe that people wouldn't want to drive. I love driving. I love listening to music. I love driving down back roads, all those types of things. Well, When they told me that it costs $3,000 to get a driver's license, it made a lot more sense why people would not want to have one when public transportation is so easy to use. It was during little conversations like these that my eyes and mind were open to just how different other parts of the world were from the world I knew, and how little I knew about these different cultures. This class has taught me about the importance of seeking to learn as much as I can about the different cultures of the world around me. I learned what being a global citizen truly meant. Most importantly, the class allowed me to meet and become friends with people I never would have talked to in the first place. It's safe to say that this class has lit a fire in me to go out and explore the world and meet new people. This has been my final video project for the Global Challenge class of Fall 2025. Thank you.